So, most people should know what these are. These are incubators. And why would you have incubators to incubate eggs? Unfortunately, there are no gecko eggs in here. However, we got a lovely assortment of eggs in here already. Here's a goose egg, by the way, for those that have been following my channel and watched goats, pigs, and geese. Oh my! You know that I noticed that Gwen was sitting down. Turns out she had a nest, and she's been laying eggs. I mean, gathering her eggs. I left two in there for her to see if she'll hatch out a pair of twins. Anywho, this is a goose egg. It was on April. January, February. Yeah, April the 29th. I have all of them marked. Well, all of mine marked. Because this right here, there's a quail egg. Very small, isn't it? For those of you that have eaten pickled quail eggs, you would know that they're small. Actually, I think pickled quail eggs might be a slightly bit bigger. Anyway, there's a regular, everyday old quail egg. Not much to look at if you think about it. Or, well, in the eating wise, I've seen an adult quail. I don't see the point of trying to eat those things. And like I said, we got goose eggs, got turkey eggs. I'll introduce the turkeys later. We got duck egg right here. Not all the green ones are duck eggs. This is a duck egg, and this, oh yeah, that's a duck egg too. I can't, oh, here we go. And this is a chicken egg. Now, let me put them, hopefully they don't roll off and break. Now, in comparison to duck eggs and chicken eggs, not entirely the size, but like, a duck egg is very smooth and more oval shaped in most cases than a chicken egg. Now, you can have chicken eggs that are probably more rounded out too, but this one has a point at the very top. Whereas this duck egg is the same, close to the same size all the way around almost. And like I said, the duck egg is more smooth and slippery like. Not slimy slippery, but like, you just have to feel it. You have to feel a duck egg. They're very smooth to the touch. And of course, chicken eggs are too, but you can feel the pores on them when you touch them. You can't feel the pores on the duck eggs. Anywho, like I said, we got goose, turkey, duck, quail, and several different types of chicken eggs. This one, for example, is a banny egg. And thinking about it, that blue, this blue egg might be a silky. The reason I say might be, and I say that one's a banny egg, and the reason they have RH, because I'm incubating them for a friend, and his initials is RH. I'm not going to say his name, though. Anywho, he has chickens. He has all different types. I mean, well, I say all different types. I'm exaggerating. He has more than I do, species-wise, and he has more chickens than I do to begin with. He has guineas too. Anyway, so he lended these eggs to me to hatch in an incubator, and so when they hatch, depending on how many hatch, we're gonna split the amount. Oh, well, I almost forgot. So I looked up quail eggs. These guys will hatch in 7 to 8 weeks, if I remember correctly. Now, geese eggs, depending on the species, they will hatch in 35 or 38 days. I forgot which one. And so I'm just putting it like 35 because, for one, I can't really put down a particular species because Gwen is a buff goose, and Victor, the father, the white one, which those that watched the previous video know which one I'm talking about. He makes a lot of noise. His species is from Africa, if I remember correctly. So there are two different species. If these three eggs that I have in here actually do hatch, then they're going to be crossbreeds. So I don't know how long it's going to take. So I've just put it to 35. And just regular chicken eggs, for those that have hatched chickens, is 21 days. Now, the duck eggs, they'll hatch in 35 days, I want to say. So, I know I have a duck egg from, well, I got one from 29. I got a goose egg from 29. Here you go. And a duck egg from 29. So, if I'm correct, these two, and probably some others that were laid in 29, will hatch on the same day, if I'm right. Some of these will hatch on the same day, others will hatch later on. Of course, the quail eggs will be the first to hatch, if I'm right. Unless I got a couple of eggs from way earlier before I got the quail eggs. Anywho, that's just in this one. I'm using this one for all my experimental ones. Because this one's new, so I know they'll work properly and they'll hatch. This one was from 2 years ago. I got it out when I was getting a little too many eggs, but I also got some roosters from my friend, and so I'm crossbreeding them with my hens to see what I can get. And these are my chicken eggs. I put all my goose, turkey, and duck eggs in here to make sure they'll hatch. This one, I'm not so sure, but I'm hoping it will work because it has a leak. So I have to put water in here every 2 days. I need to put more water in this one. And that's how it works. You put water down these grooves, and the heat coming from this causes like steam and causes humidity, and that what helps them hatch. And of course, I can't leave them like this, so every day, sometimes every 2 days, depending if I'm busy or not, I just roll them around just like the mother would. They gotta be rolled. Both mother geese, ducks, turkeys, quail, and chickens. I don't speak about the chickens. They'll roll the eggs under them every so often. It's so that the growing chick won't stick on the edge of the shell. They'll stay right in the center. And the reason being, I believe, is because if they stay on the one side, like say this one hatched on stayed on one side, that might cause problems for them, like on the wing that was stuck on that side, or the leg, something like that. Something will happen, and it's not gonna be good if they're not rolled. That much I do know. So I have to roll them every day. I try to, at least, but then, like I said, sometimes I do it every 2 days. But I check on them because I always get when I get some eggs, like over here. There's some more eggs in there. Those are going in the refrigerator. I wean out the ones I want to hatch, and then the ones I'm going to keep in the fridge to be a refrigerator. I don't eat eggs unless they're in a cake. But my family does. At least my brother does. He loves eggs. My mom had a bad experience with a duck egg. I don't know if it was because she had a reaction to it, or that one might have been a little overripe. It was a while ago though. But ever since then, she does not eat our farm raised eggs. It doesn't matter if it's chicken or duck or goose or turkey and quail, although, like I said, looking at them, I won't even bother. I mean, unless you want to, like, pickle them, I wouldn't bother trying to eat quail eggs. They're so tiny. Maybe it's the taste. I don't know. If you've eaten a quail egg, leave in the comments about the texture or the difference between a chicken egg or a quail egg or duck or goose or whatever eggs you've eaten. Even if it was illegal. If it was illegal, let me know how it tastes. Cause I ain't gonna taste it. Anyway, but yeah. So these are my eggs from my chickens, and there's some small ones because I got a cross of a Banny hen, and then I got a cross of a well, I got a small rooster. Yeah, I think it has some Banny in him from my friend. So I think they've been breeding, and she's laying these small eggs. Cause I haven't gotten eggs this small ever until I got that rooster. And another thing, just because if you have just hens, they will lay eggs even without a rooster. The whole you need a rooster for eggs, that's a myth. If you want fertilized eggs to incubate and hatch, then you need a rooster. But you don't need one if you just have hens. They'll lay eggs whenever. Well, I say whenever. During the spring and summer months, that's when they'll lay eggs because the days are longer. There's more food abundant, so the body will say, "Hey, it's this weather is good enough to raise chicks, so might as well lay some eggs and try to hatch some." So they'll lay eggs all through the spring and summer months. If you want to keep them to lay during the winter, which I don't do, I let them take a break during the winter. But if you want them to keep laying, depending on where you are, then you can put a lamp over them, like in their chicken house or in their chicken shed, wherever you have the chickens roosting in. You put a lamp over there during the night, and they'll continue to lay. Like I said, I let mine rest during the during the winter. And then once spring and summer hits, is egg laying time. That's my method, of course. You can do whatever you want if you have chickens, but I like mine to take a break. So yeah, I wasn't expecting this video to be too long. Of course, it's only been close to 13 minutes. But yeah, these are my 2 incubators. I need to look for the leak. It's very small, so I can't see it. So I might just tape the whole bottom of it, or try to look for the leak and patch it up, or just buy a new one. I don't know. I really want to make sure these hatch. I like experimenting, and I want to see what type of chicks I'll get with these new roosters I got. I really want to see. I like new things. I like seeing my animals produce and raise crossbreed babies, which is why I'm so happy that Gwen laid some eggs and is trying to hatch 2 of them. I saw Victor mount Gwen one time when I was feeding. I never saw that before in my life because he mostly likes hanging out with Mumbles, which is why I thought he chose Mumbles as his mate and all that because he didn't show any interest towards Gwen. But then I saw him mount her, and then she started laying eggs. She's sitting on she has a little literal nest. I gotta make a video of her on the nest, and she is very protective of that nest. So I'm praying that Victor fertilized these geese eggs. I'll have crossbreed goose babies. I really hope so. I really want to see that. I want to see Gwen raise some goslings. So bad, it hurts. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I'll make a video for each clutch of eggs that was in here, depending on what day of the month. I'll make a video of them hatching and me taking care of them. And then later on, I'll make a video of the ones I kept from each batch. Alright, that's 14 minutes now. So, yeah. That's it.